Let's take a quick tour of the first Game Announcer Tools offline event. To get there, you need to log into GA Tool and then choose Offline Event from the event list. And this will load the offline event. Now, the offline event doesn't have a schedule, it doesn't have any teams or anything like that, but you get to fill them in. And the way you fill them in is by talking to your scorekeeper and getting a spreadsheet from them that is the report. It's a number of reports. So the first report that you're going to get is a schedule report. We'll go to the schedule tab, and from here we can load the qualification match schedule. You can also load a practice match schedule here if you can get that ahead of time if you need to do a pit walk. But in the meantime, you can go and pick up the qualification match schedule, and you've got that report right here, and you'll see it says Schedule Report Quals, and it has the event name there. So this comes straight out of the Scorpion. We'll load that up, and you can see now I have the schedule. There's no scores. That's correct because it doesn't report scores. But we do have all the teams, and behind the scenes, teams changed from orange to green, and that's because we went and fetched all of the team data and the community updates while we were talking. So all that's taken place. If you look at the team list, you can see I've got all of the updates, and we're all good to go and ready to call matches. In fact, if I switch to announce, there's my teams. If I go down to play-by-play, you'll see the same, and next match and previous match work the same, and you can pick matches out of here. Of course, there'll be no results, there'll be no rankings because it's unable to get that in offline mode. So we'll just go and skip ahead here to the end. This is the last match of the qualification matches. Now it's time to figure out who is going to be in alliance selection. So to do that, we can either use the awards tab for alliance selection, just tap the name of the team and off you go. That's one way to do it. If you want to get fancy and you want to use rankings, then you need to go and get a ranking report from your scorekeeper. So we've got one, and I've switched to the rankings tab here, the ranks tab, and now I can click this red button and load up a ranking report. So you see I've got a ranking report here also from that same event, and we can open it. Great. Now I've got all the rankings for the event, and if you've been paying attention here, this now turned green for alliance selection. So let's go take a look at what alliance selection says now. It says, oh, wait a minute, you've got to set up an alliance count on the setup screen. And this is important because in order to do alliance selection, you have to know how many teams are in the alliance. So we go back to setup. You can see here, it's asking us how many teams should be there, and we're going to say 8. So now we know that we have 8 teams in the alliance. We can go back to alliance selection. Alliance selection looks kind of weird because it's got these TBD teams, and that's because when it first tried to load alliance selection, it didn't know how many teams are supposed to be there, and it got confused. So the way to fix this is simply tap on Restart Alliance Selection, boom, and now it's all ready to go. So we've got all the teams lined up for alliance selection. We can start to do alliance selection as normal. There we go. They're going to accept. We'll say these guys decline. That's just fine. These guys accept. I'm making this up. Oh, sorry. They reconsidered. So we'll try these. We'll get them to accept. There we go. So you just go through alliance selection. It will go as normal here, and you're done. Now, once you're done with alliance selection, you have your first round of playoffs ready to go. They're in the Scorpion. The schedule is fixed. Get that first round report from your scorekeeper. What this will allow you to do then is in the Schedule tab, you can go back and you can load the offline playoff schedule. Now, I have a whole bunch because we pull it at each round, but this is the one that I care about. It's the first round, and we'll open that. If you want, after the first round is done, you can go back and get the schedule for the second round, and then the third round, and the fourth round, and so on. If you take a look quickly at Announce, you'll see that we now have match 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same thing applies to play-by-play. So you'll be able to do the matches. There they are. You have the ability to choose backup teams. So if you have to pick a backup team, you can't do it in round 1. But if you're in round 2 and you need to do a backup team, you can do that. So maybe these guys are going to take a nap and these guys will come in. It should be paying attention to the ranking, but you can type in a team number if you don't see it there, and it should pick it up, and you'll be able to do the replacement. So here they are in there right now, replacement for the blue team for Alliance 8. Now, how do you advance? You can, as we said, every time the schedule updates for the next round, you can go get another schedule spreadsheet from your scorekeeper and simply replace it here. The alternative is to take that first round report, which is what we have here, right? We only have matches through 1 through 4. If you go to the playoff tab, you can use the playoff tab here, this bracket, to advance the playoffs. So let's do that through this particular example. Let's assume that 1 and 8 play. We tap on match number 1. I have to choose the winner. Let's pick red. There we go. Now you can see that red is advanced to match 7, and blue has gone down to alliance 5, down to match number 5, where they become the red alliance. We'll do the same thing with match number 2. Say blue wins. Pick this one here. Red will just alternate. And there's blue. So now we finished round 1. We know who the winners are. We know where everybody's gone into round 2. Everybody's been sorted into that. So now it's time to start round 2. And again, we're not going to go back and get another schedule. We're going to use this tool. So at the end of match number 5, the match is done. We now know it was Alliance 8 that won. That means Alliance 4 is going home. And Alliance 8 has moved right here. So they're now the blue alliance in match number 10. We can do the same with match number 6. We'll say that Alliance 3 wins, and they move into the blue alliance. Now we need the red alliance teams. So we'll go pick up match number 7. And this will be, say, Red Alliance wins that one, so they move down, and then, or Red Alliance stays up here, and Blue Alliance moves down, and then we'll do the same with match number 8. There we go. So now we're getting close to being done. I'm just going to click through the rest of these in order. So there's match. I'm just making it up again. I don't know the actual results of this event. We're just going to pick them. There we go, down to match 12, and then 13. So this is the last one. Great. Now we're into finals, and we can see our bracket is prepared. Let's say somehow a team successfully challenges at this point, and they get to replay match number 12. If you tap on match number 12, you can change the outcome. Of course, what that's going to do is mess things up over here, and you're going to have to replay this one and then reset who the winner is there, and that will go all the way through. So you can replay these matches if you have to, and it will change the outcome into the finals. So now we have our teams in the finals. You can tap on the match at the end and or tap on this area here where the finals are, and you can choose one of 3 choices now. You either have the winner or the loser or a tie. So we'll try all of those at this point. Let's say in the first match, Alliance 6, which is the Red Alliance, wins. Great. You can see now they have a win. Now we'll try again, and we'll say Blue Alliance is going to force a rubber match. There we go. So now Blue is 1 and Red is 1. Now in the third one, let's say they tie. Well, okay, now we're off to another match, and we're going to get into the overtime matches. You see we're in overtime. We'll throw another tie in there just for good looks. And then lastly, we'll go and say that Alliance 5 wins. So if Alliance 5 wins, they're the winner. And now you're done. So what you've got here is a way to do an event offline so long as your scorekeeper with the Scorpion can provide you with 3 files. You need the qualification match schedule. That's going to get you your team list. You need the ranking, and that's optional, but if you want to use alliance selection, then you need to use the ranking file. And then lastly, you need the first round of playoffs, and you can do all of your advancement here. So that's what we've got, folks. I hope that you take advantage of this as we roll through the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see you in the off season using this tool as well.